Yudi, thank you for jumping in with me. And we're looking forward to having you come speak at NFT London. This is going to be a different conversation because what your company does is different than all the other types of companies that you could be compared to. You're not a normal NFT Web3 company, but you're also not a normal mobility company. So I think it would be fascinating for folks to hear a bit about your story. What led you to start this organization? What's your background in innovation and mobility? What brought you into the NFT ecosystem? So maybe we could start there because I, for one, am very, very intrigued. So please introduce yourself.
Okay. Thanks, Ian. So hi, everyone. My name is Yudi. I'm the CEO of Mobify. So we're based in the Netherlands, but the team is globally located. Long story short, because it's been quite some time, actually the initial idea came out. So we won the third Dutch Mobility Hackathon actually in 2019. So that was the original idea where it came from, right? It's about solving a mobility problem. So basically transport problem in the Netherlands, trying to reduce carbon emission, traffic jam, etc., etc. And then the idea slowly evolved into a startup idea, right? So, and then we actually been through incubation program in Switzerland. It's a fintech incubator, and that's why all this financialization concept come together. And then we did the fundraising in crypto, and these two actually merge together. So how NFT actually plays the role into this company is it's actually quite interesting because we're trying to solve some problem that nobody in the mobility industry had ever been successfully done, especially these days when you hear about mobility as a service. So many startups, they're trying to combine everything into one app. Like you can take scooter, bus, everything here. But the reality is nobody is using them, right? That's the reality. The reason is it missed a lot of financialization incentives. Like, why should I use it? I have my transportation card, right? The financialization, it's actually not the conclusion from ourselves. It's conclusion from BCG Group, right? So Boston Consulting Service. So they did the research, and we dive deeper, and we find out the root cause, and that's why we actually bring in gamification and the financialization from Web3 into mobility. And that's the huge difference if you compare us to those traditional mobility companies, which they don't have it. They just give you the tool, hey, use it. But why should I use it, right? We are different. We give you something really fun, interesting to use. You are actually like playing a game. You can earn money from it. So that's what we do. And I think it's easy to understand if you compare us to traditional, not traditional, but those very cool NFT or DeFi or Web3 projects. We're actually very focused on solving real problems in our real life. So not just trading, DeFi money stuff. We're actually solving people to move them from A to B. And we're live actually in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Now, right now you're live in the Netherlands, and then you're kind of looking toward other potential markets in Europe, from what you and I had talked about. When it comes to mobility, mobility is a broad category. Right. Mm-hmm. You have everything from mass transportation, right? Trains, planes, buses, to individual transportation, scooters, electric skateboards, and everything in between. When you talk about adding financialization and fun, ideally, to the process of mobility by leveraging Web3, is there a more narrow view, like, in the Netherlands? What type of mobility are you most focused on bringing Web3 to?
Yes, very good question. Very good question. Actually, it's a question worth a lot of research, actually. And we did research with a university here in Netherlands called Delft. It's the best technical university here. So what we find out is more than 50% of the Dutch people, or I can say European people, they own a car. And the number should be much higher in US, right? But more than 50. Think about it. 100 people, 60 people have a car. And in Netherlands, that's over 8 million cars on the roads, right? So that's why we start with parking services in the Netherlands. So we don't offer public transport yet, but we offer parking service covering both roadside parking and off-street and indoor garage parking. So that's what we offer, like a starting point. So if you come to Netherlands, you can actually use our app to park your car wherever you want, right? But the thing, the interesting part is here. You have indoor off-street parking where you can, it's a closed area, you park your car, right? If you do that, we actually give you green points for as a reward. And collecting green points will get you level up. And once you leveled up, you got directly crypto tokens, NFTs, rewards for that.
Because so that's bringing the fun and the financialization together. And your first pass is to do it around parking because it doesn't have, I assume, all of the challenges that would be in place if you were trying to focus on, we're bringing it to scooters or to trains or, public transportation of some sort. So with parking, what's working today? And what's because your app is live, people can download it now. So what's working today? And in terms of if someone's watching this and they're in the Netherlands, thanks for tuning in, you out there. If they are, and they think to themselves, okay, so how do I engage with this? I download the Mobify app, and then, so can you just walk us through the process for a moment of what your customers would experience today? And then we'll transition and talk a bit about what's to come.
Okay, awesome. So basically it's very easy. So you can search in the App Store or Google Play Store, Mobify. You will see Mobify Travel and Earn, right? Download it. And it's a very intuitive onboarding experience. So you register your CarPlay number, right? You basically log in. You can choose Google or Apple or MetaMask even. Log into it, and then you can start to use it. So you do a search on the map, right? So when you go somewhere in the city center, you search on the map, or you see some parking location around you. So there are actually two colors you will see on the map. One is green, the other is blue. The blue ones are the roadside parking, right? So you just park on the roadside. But we encourage you to use this green indoor off-street parking because we believe they are more sustainable. So when you use those green parking, you will receive rewards after that. So the green points, and eventually, level up, and then you receive tokens stuff. One thing I want to point out is very, very much related to NFT. So when you start to use the app, you will receive a free NFT character. We call it Alex, free hunter, Green's hunter Alex. So basically, this is like a membership card kind of thing, right? So you can level it up, like upgrade it. The higher the more skills it has, the faster it can collect the green points. That then makes you faster to get all the rewards and token cryptocurrencies. So it's super intuitive. Just download it, play with it, and park your car. It has almost all the features that existing parking apps has, right? All the same thing because we're using the same parking location, parking garage. The difference is we add a lot of fun, gamification, and cryptocurrency rewards or stuff to it.
Well, now I just have so many things I want to ask about. Let's start with just you casting a vision of your future of Mobify. And then to prepare you, I'm going to ask a bit about your thoughts on STEPN. I think STEPN's had very unique success. It's not mobility, but they're bringing, financialization and fun to exercise in a sense. So I'd like to talk about that. And then probably wrap by asking you thoughts, if you could sit down with Elon Musk and talk about how Tesla could be a partner in this revolution over time. How might someone like that, with all of the, responsibility, authority, and influence with Tesla, be able to be involved? But first, I'd love for you to cast your vision of the future of Mobify and let folks know, like when you roll out to Europe, if you end up rolling out to North America, what are you building toward? What can people kind of gravitate toward a vision over the course of the next several seasons, years, or even decade that they can get excited about?
Yeah, so I think the vision, we should keep it simple. So what we want to eventually achieve is when you want to become more sustainable in travel, you should think of Mobify, and we should be able to offer you all the mobility service that you need. I think that's the vision we're trying to achieve, and that's why all the incentivized stuff, that why we need to incentivize, why we need the financialization, why we need a lot of fun, because we want people to join us to travel more sustainably. I think that's the longer term vision. I know it's very, very hard. We have to start from very little small, but that's the long term vision that we want to achieve. Yeah, but we believe that Web3 can actually help us achieve that.
To transition to Steppen, I was listening to people talk about Steppen. Here's this new app idea around walking, jogging, running, exercise in general. How do you get people to exercise, and how do you make money from that effort? They had some crazy success over the end of the summer. Like, their best numbers in many regards were Steppen built on Solana. I know it's not a direct comparison. It's a different environment, but there are some similarities in terms of they did a great job activating people on their mobile app tied to a blockchain, and it just spun mass viral momentum because they made a financial incentive and they made it fun. When you look at Steppen or other projects that have been successful, I think Steppen's a good example. What do you see that you draw inspiration from? And what do you see that maybe you say, oh, wow, that was innovative? Or how does that spur on your own ideas? But I just thought that would be an interesting conversation to have with you, is your perspective on Steppen, because of the success they've had around exercise, which you can kind of connect to mobility in a certain regard.
Yeah, I think their concept is really good. I mean, because walk to earn or step to earn is it's like very easy for everybody to do, right? So you don't need to convince people, you don't need to educate people like to step to earn. It's easy, and they have a very nice mobile app, right? So increase adoption. But I think I'm a little bit criticized about this project, because to me, if I want to really exercise, become healthy, etc., I'm not going to use Steppen, to be honest. A few $1,000s, I can hire a personal coach, professional coach to get me, into fit, right? So I'm not going to use Steppen. So the reason, if I'm going to use Steppen, because I can earn a lot of money. So that was happening in the summer. Now, that's real story. I heard a lot of people actually made a lot of money, but now, of course, the market crash. I mean, it basically dumps, right? So a lot of people lose money. But that's another story. So what I probably want to, we learned a lot from them, to be honest. But one thing that we differentiate us from them is really the motivation. So like I said, Steppen, the reason people probably want to use Steppen is they can make a lot of money. I mean, nothing wrong with that. But does this gonna sustain for a long time? I personally actually doubt about it. We are a little bit different. We don't need to provide huge amount of incentive for you to use it. Of course, we make it cheaper, right? So we give you rewards. But the most important thing is you have to move around no matter what, right? So you have to drive around, you have to park your car, you have to use it anyway. That's where our starting point is. So I think Steppen is a really, really smart idea to get into people's life. And they actually bridge Web3 and real life well, right? So that's what we learn from them. That's what we want to do. Yeah.
I'm glad I asked about that. And I think having a critical perspective is important, but you also do draw inspiration. And that's the reality of most things, right? We can look at it from different perspectives. I want to transition to Elon. One of the reasons why I'm bringing him up is not just mobility, and of course, he's mobility in space, he's mobility in tunnels, he's mobility in cars. I mean, it's go Elon. It's this reason. I believe that Teslas are going to become an incredible challenge for Uber. I believe that Teslas are going to leave their owners' garages, pick people up, take them where they want to go, drive back to the garage, and the owner of the Tesla makes money. Tesla makes money, and the people don't have to deal with the strangeness of strangers driving you around. Nothing wrong with it, but this is probably an evolution to that. As I think about that, and as I think about what you're working on, I could imagine that you and Elon would have a very interesting elevator ride. So if you jumped in an elevator, you're going up 50 stories and it's just the two of you for a few minutes. How might you guide, encourage Elon to think through leveraging Web3 specific to his cars? If you want to talk about the Boring Company, because obviously that's mobility as well, that's fine. But what might you say to Elon to get his attention and try to kind of veer his attraction toward, oh, okay, there is something here that I maybe should lean into. It's not just DeFi, Dogecoin, and things of that nature. Here's smart contracts that can actually automate business for the good of our company and our customers. Love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, you actually make it hard, but let me try. So I think Tesla is a fantastic company, right? They can do anything they want. If they want to enter Web3, they can do it. They can build everything they want. They have money, smart engineers, and they have Elon. If I have like 1 minute talking to Elon, I think what I'm going to suggest to him is, because based on our experience, we talk to a lot of people, especially European people. They want to become more green, like sustainable. But the thing is, not many people actually did anything, right? So the reason, I want to buy a Tesla, but damn, it's too expensive for me now, right? So many people, they cannot afford a EV or install solar panel on their roof. So I think what Web3 can bring into this game is to reduce the green premium somehow through some way, right? So maybe I don't need to own the Tesla 100%. I can own it 50% together with my neighbor or something like that. I think Web3 can make it happen, because that's the biggest barrier. I know Tesla has become cheaper and cheaper, but still, in Europe, I don't know, it's much cheaper in US, but in Europe it's 700,000, I think, for Model 3. Like, I mean, yeah, it's still quite expensive, right? So that's the topic, or the suggestion, or the Web3 idea that I want to pass to Elon. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I asked. Surprisingly, Elon seems more accessible than I would imagine, because he's on Twitter. So, maybe somebody will cut our little conversation and send it to him. As we wrap up our conversation, we're looking forward to having you come share at NFT.London. Is there anything you'd like to encourage our community to do leading up to that time? Obviously, you've mentioned that your Mobify app is already live. So that's mobifi.io to go find the app. But anything else that you want to encourage folks to lean into or to investigate regarding what you're working on with Web3 mobility?
Yeah, I think it will be the same thing. Just go and download our app, have a try. And I think the most important thing that we're looking for at the moment is feedback. We are currently in testnet, but we are moving to mainnet very, very soon after the merge. So yeah, we need feedback to make the product better. I think that's the most important thing for us now.
Well, that's a great answer. Nothing is really as important to entrepreneurs like you and I. I'm on my 8th company, so I'm the glutton for punishment. Just keep starting new things, and I found over and over again, feedback from the beta testers, the alpha testers, the early adopters is vital. So for those of you that might be watching our conversation, recognize that if you have feedback for folks like Yudi building Mobify or others, we want to know your feedback. It's the only way we can pivot and make better products and better decisions. Yudi, I look forward to seeing you in London in about a month and a half. And thank you so much for jumping in with me for this fireside chat. And everyone that's tuned in, I'll be back again soon with another one.
Awesome.